It is so great catching up with my next guest. He's got a big fight coming up here against Lucas Almeida, UFC 309, Madison Square Garden. Doesn't get much bigger than this. It is David Onama back here on the program. David, how you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. Thank you for having me on here.
Hey, well, it's great to catch up with you and talk to you, especially for such a big card. Just how excited were you when you found out you'd be fighting at Madison Square Garden on the same card as John Jones?
Man, that meant a lot to me. When I got that call, when I first got that call from my manager, but it was hard to believe. I was like, wait, New York, Madison Square Garden? He's like, yeah, like New York. And I was like, I don't even ask who it was at first. I'm like, yeah, like, what I mean, like, let's fight. And then they told me who it was at the end. I'm like, it's a good matchup. I love it. So let's do it. You know.
Your last fight obviously was in April, and we're talking about a fight here in November. Did you want that much time off, or was this sort of by design that you wanted to take some time in between fights?
I did want to take a little time off just to kind of get back to training a little bit, learn more, get with my coach, like a one-on-one section, and kind of just, work more on my what's called grappling, more on my striking, before I get back in. And I told him, November and December, and this opportunity came up, so I couldn't decline it, and so we just took it. And
yeah, and it all worked out. Like I said, getting a fight at the historic Madison Square Garden. I wanted to talk quickly about your last fight. You got the win over Jonathan Pierce. How satisfied were you with that performance? Because Jonathan obviously had a lot of momentum going into that fight, and you looked great in that one.
Yeah, when I fought Jonathan Pierce, obviously he was a wrestler, and I was a striker, and it was just like I wanted to like test myself because I've never really like fought against a wrestler. So when they offered me Jonathan Pierce, I was like, I want to test myself. Like, let's take the fight and see how I do against a wrestler. And like me going to the fight, I had a lot of people like doubted me, like with my wrestling and pretty much everything about me. And they was like, I was gonna get out wrestled. And I was like, all right, okay, cool. Keep saying all that. And everybody doubted me. I was the underdog. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna making a statement because everybody's like,
oh yeah.
So that's really why I took that fight, was to test myself.
And then the only other thing I got to mention about that fight, I know obviously you missed weight in that one. What happened there for people who might be wondering?
Yeah, like that's my first time ever missing weight. Again, I apologize. Will never happen again. It's just that my body just shut down. Like I couldn't cut anymore. Like
okay.
I tried like what's it called? Like the staff does like they wouldn't even let me continue. I told them like I can continue cutting weight, and they was like, nah, man, you can't do it no more. So I'm like, all right. And then I apologized to my opponent, Johnson Pierce, and never happened again. It was just something that I never thought.
Yeah, it happens. And you said it right there. You've never missed weight before. So, it's one of those, it's not like you have a habit of doing this. Sometimes these things happen. So yeah, I was just curious if there was, like anything sort of going on there ahead of the fight. Sometimes things happen. But let's look ahead. I mentioned Lucas Almeida off the top. You're fighting him. How are you looking at this fight stylistically? This has got fight of the night written all over it.
Lucas Almeida, he's very sharp with the striking. He stays long. He's like, I feel like he's very technical. He's not just out there just trying to bang unless you're trying to bang with him. And like I'm one of those fighters that like I'm way different now. Like I'm also like technical. I'm not how I used to be, like years ago. I feel like I've developed my striking, just training over at Factory X. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. It's a good matchup. Yeah, man, I'm excited for it.
And let's talk about camp a bit. You mentioned Factory X. Obviously, your teammate Yusuf Zalal getting a really big win last week. How much does that sort of lean on the team as well? When a guy like Yusuf, who's been a member at Factory X for a while, how much does it sort of trickle down to the rest of the team when you see a big win like that?
Yeah, man, like that win, meant a lot, just to the team, everybody in the gym. Just training with guys like Yusuf, man, like he's one of the best. Just being able, just to train with him, learn from him, and just everything. It feels like a family. Yeah, man, that victory he got, what can you say? Yusuf's a lot.
Yeah,
He,
another submission win too, which was cool just to see him continue that momentum. And I think he kind of showed like, hey, I probably shouldn't have got cut the first time in the UFC because he's continued to win those big fights. But aside from Yusuf, who are some of the other partners, training partners that are helping you get ready for this fight?
yeah. So it was. Yusuf was helping me too. Yusuf. Yeah, pretty much the whole team. Everybody was helping me, especially Yusuf. I feel like, yeah, man, just everybody was helping me. I was kind of getting like new teammates every time, every other day, I'll get somebody new just to give me like a different look. Even on Friday.
Good variety, yeah.
Every Friday we get like a new, like, because Fridays for us is like sparring day, so I try to get like, new opponents every time.
Nice. I heard Yusuf told me before his fight that Corey Sandhagen actually came in and trained with you guys. Did you get to work with Corey at all?
No, I didn't. I didn't work with Corey. I think he kind of came in to spar with Yusuf and help him out through his fight.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like a team thing or not. Who is making the trip with you to New York? Who will be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah, so I have Cody Brundage, Yusuf Zalal, and Coach Mark.
Nice. Doesn't get much better than that. I know Cody's sort of doing more coaching now, which is great. So, and I've heard just great things about him being a cornerman. So that's going to be a nice asset for you. And I got to ask, just because we talked about it earlier, weight cut going well, no issues, everything good leading into the fight.
I'm good. As you can see, I'm loading my water right now. So
there you go. Multitasking. I love it. Got to get that leader in, right? That all makes sense. How do you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said we're not missing weight no more.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, it was just the one time. It's going to happen, right? So, how do you see the fight playing out on November 16th? How do you see the fight going down?
November 16th, man. I see me picking Lucas Almeida apart, literally like from a distance, just picking him, seeing my shots, and yeah, man, I'm just gonna pick him apart until I get the job done. I'm not gonna go into this fight rushing nothing. I'm just gonna go in there. Like I said, I'm way different now. I'm more technical. I'm not rushing fights. I'll go when I want to go. So I feel like I'm gonna pick him apart. Honestly, from a distance, I'm just pick him until I beat him.
There's a big fight going on in your division about almost a month, less than a month ahead. Aljamain Sterling's going to be fighting Voyev in your weight class. How do you see that fight playing out? I was curious.
I mean, you can't doubt Aljamain. So I'm probably gonna go with Aljamain. Probably a submission. He might submit him. I'm thinking about like submission maybe by Aljo. So we'll see. They call it the backpack for a reason. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna go with Aljo.
One other one I wanted to ask you about, just because they announced it last week. Ian Gary is fighting Joaquin Buckley on that UFC Tampa card. It's a 5-round fight. How do you see that one going?
I'm gonna go with Buckley. Probably like either second round or third round TKO or knockout.
Yeah. He's got some power. We saw that in the last fight with Stephen Thompson, which was pretty great. Okay, so we talked all about fighting in this interview. I want to talk about some other stuff that have nothing to do with fighting. These are rapid fire questions, just whatever comes to mind. One word answers. There's no wrong answers. It's just an opinion. So David Onama, I want to ask you, who is your favorite athlete outside of combat sports?
Out of combat sports, man, that's a good question. Out of combat.
Do you watch any other sports besides MMA or boxing or anything?
I watch a lot of soccer. If I have to say,
okay,
probably go with Messi.
Messi, okay, that's great. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I like the Thin Red Line.
Favorite actor or actress?
Favorite actor? I'll probably go with Mike Epps.
Great choice. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Probably the Boondocks. It's like a cartoon.
Yep. No, I've seen it. It's a good show. Favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian? Michael Blackson.
Okay. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Favorite cheat meal? I'll probably say like Chick-fil-A.
Favorite travel destination?
Favorite travel destination? London.
Okay. Favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Lion.
Do you have a hidden talent?
Hidden talent? I do not.
Is there something that you're good at that maybe we don't know you're good at? Are you good at any other sports or anything? Maybe you're good at like drawing or puzzles or something. I don't know.
Football. Playing football.
Okay. Okay. Soccer, like you're talking, you're like, when you say football, do you mean soccer or do you mean like actual football?
No, I mean ice football.
Okay. Okay. Take your word for it. Only because you mentioned soccer earlier. That's why I was curious if that's what you meant. And my last one, what's your biggest pet peeve? So, like, pet peeve is like, if you don't know what that is, like, what's something that annoys you?
My biggest pet peeve is somebody lying. Like somebody lying to me, knowing they did something and they still lie in front of my face. That's one of my biggest pet peeve out of all time.
I can agree with that. Now, as far as this fight, obviously big opportunity here at UFC 309. Do you have a couple fights left on your contract? What's sort of the latest on that?
I think I have three more fights in my
Oh,
contract.
nice. Okay, so last fight I'm assuming was a new contract then?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, nice. Well, that's good. Always good. Obviously, the top of your division, we still have the champion is Ilia Topuria. I was just curious, what did you think of his performance? First fighter to knock out Max Holloway. Pretty impressive.
Man, honestly, like I knew Ilia was gonna pull it off. I just knew it, but I'm like, I still couldn't doubt out Max Holloway. You know, that's one of my favorite fighter. So I was just like, man, I think Ilia's gonna catch him, but like, I hope he doesn't catch him. And I'm like, if Max gets this win, I hope he retires because I feel like Max done it all. He beat everybody in that 45 division. So I was like, man, if Max pulls this win, like just retire, you know. But I see Ilia going there and doing what he did. So it is what it is, man. You know, like Max
Yeah.
Holloway, not a funeral. You know, he'll be back. So we're all looking forward to the return. You know, from Max. You know, it is what it is.
Do you think, excluding yourself, do you think there's anyone in the division that can beat Topuria right now? He looks pretty. I mean, he just beat Volk and Holloway. Like that's two really amazing wins.
Right now, honestly, I feel like not that Ilya is like a champion. You know, he beat Volk, beat Max Holloway. I feel like once he beat Max Holloway, I feel like he's gonna level up even more,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be hard for I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be a champ for a very long time. I don't see anybody like actually beating him right now. You know, so yeah, I feel like he's just gonna be a champ for for a long time. You know, so
Yeah. Yeah, no, he certainly look impressive. And my last question for you, obviously you've been in Colorado for a little while now. You were in Missouri previously. How are you adjusting? How are things different? Or the things that are better, worse? Like obviously you're at a world-class facility there at Factory X, but take me through sort of adjusting to living in Colorado now, because I know it's been about a year and a bit, or if not more.
yeah, it's been over a year and a half now since I've been living in Denver. Man, I love being here. Love the gym. You know, I just love everybody. You know, at Factory X. I said it from the beginning. I feel welcome. I feel like a family.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love Denver. It's beautiful out here. Love the altitude. Ever since I moved out here, I feel like my cardio and endurance have been like way better than when I was living in KC.
Mhm.
And I've developed so much better like as a fighter. So yeah, man, I love it out here. As you can see, I'm still here. Yeah, just looking forward, for the next for the next for the next fight, which is November 16th. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's it, man. Just living it out here, enjoying everything, enjoying the process, and just having fun. So
What's with the Tigers hat? Is it just because it has the D on there for David?
now, actually, this is one of my boys' brand. It's
Oh,
Kia.
is it? Oh, sorry. You know what? It got cut off on my thing there. Oh, it almost looked like the Tigers logo a little bit.
No, it's Denver. It's D.
D. Okay, gotcha.
He,
But you know which logo I'm talking about, right? The Detroit Tigers. They have that kind of similar D hat. So kind of threw me off a bit. But you never throw me off in interviews. You're great, David. I really appreciate it. We're looking forward to it. UFC 309, November 16th, next Saturday. Actually, it's coming up here pretty quickly. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
No, not really. I just want to thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to you. So, yeah, thank you.
No problem. All right, man. We are.